I wonder if we're all like called to this new way of living, like as people realize what's been happening, the corruption, the control. Each person looks at what they can do. It could only work if we unite. It can only work if we unite. So maybe some people are called to unite with, spirituality and religion. It can only work if we unlearn hate and fear. I'm looking at like how they've got control over the land, the banks, the money, the water, the food, the skies, the air we breathe, the materials we come in contact with, the energy sources, and how they like keep us in control with the education and licensing system. Laws about everything, legislate everything. That way you've got control over everything. Discredit everyone that of things they don't have control over. Like they've got control over the health, the pharmaceutical industries, there's nothing they don't have control over. And like if you keep everyone busy and stressed out, like they stay in a state of unwell, like can't think. They've got weak immune systems, they're affected by everything. They're in fight or flight mode all the time, so they're never well. If you make people question, anytime someone questions it, and you call them a conspiracy theorist, anything non-mainstream, anything they don't have control over, call them a conspiracy theorist so that people don't want to, oh man. And discredit anyone that says that they can cure anything or bring fear and self-doubt into them as well. Ban plants, yeah. Ban healing plants, do that. Ban people from having community gardens, ban people from having water tanks. But even if they have water tanks, make sure you have chemtrails, Make sure you put toxins in the air. Put a tax on everything. That way you can't do anything without paying the government something. Have people self-police. Make them so scared of not thinking outside the box that they actually pull people who think outside of the box in line. Let them do that as well. Control some armies. Give them credibility and honour, and idolise them and turn them into robots that don't have a heart. Make them kill in the name of their country so that they have to live with that in their souls. Separate people, race, country, religion, culture, looks, height. And once people no longer grow their own food or collect their own water, and they're paying for the privilege of standing on a piece of land, and they're still paying for it. It's not like they own it. They still have to pay for it for the rest of their lives. They never pay it off. They always have to pay. But once you get them to that spot, poison the food, poison the water, poison the air. Kill and go after anyone that has found a way to have free energy with renewable sources or self-sufficiency. Make it impossible for people to live outside of the money system. Make it impossible for anyone to live off the system, and keep drumming into their head what is right and wrong, so that people don't have a clue what's right and wrong. They don't follow their own soul. They follow what the media tells them, what the school tells them, what's the teacher tell them, what's the brainwashed masses told them. Why don't you throw some spikes on some benches so that people can't be homeless either? Let's do that. Make it illegal to feed the homeless. Yep, that'll work. Have empty houses everywhere that people can't afford to pay anyway, but let people sleep on the streets. Send old drugs over to third world countries so that first world countries feel good about vaccinating sick and dying masses overseas with out-of-date medicines. And let's praise them for doing so, sterilising them. There is a war going on right now, and our collective will is fueling the war. I don't know how to clean the air. Even the best water filters won't clean the water, what we do to the water. We can grow our own food. Although we're going to be watering it with that water, it's going to be exposed to that air. How do we get around that one? We can start to have communities and share resources instead of each person having to have their own shovel, vacuum, lawnmower, tools. There are examples everywhere of people doing what they can to live more logically, more humanely, less fearful of each other. Even the people I know who own communities said, oh no, I wouldn't lend my tractor out. I was like, you wouldn't lend your tractor out? What if something happens? These are community spirited people who are also fearful. I think as a community we could be, we've already got enough clothes to last many generations that we could be swapping around. Every household has at least one vacuum cleaner, most have 2 or 3. Every household around here has a lawnmower. You could be sharing that with the neighbours. Most people don't even know their neighbour's first name. We can save the seeds of the food that we eat and start growing. Today we don't even need to buy seeds. We can start growing just straight from the food that we're already eating. We can grow medicinal plants. We can grow our own food. We can grow our own herbs. We can unite with others. We just have to unlearn hate, judgment, fear. Unlearn that thing that was placed in us. And start saying no. Unfortunately, we have to start saying no to the wrongs. And there are many wrongs. We shouldn't be killing each other. Everyone knows that. No matter how many movies you see that would suggest otherwise. I don't know. We can, share the stuff that we grow. We can help each other with however we can. We can be looking at what serves the community before what serves ourselves. And if everyone thought that, they would always be seeking ways to help each other instead of ways to extract what they want from each other. I just think collaboration, cooperation, like a shared vision of a utopia, at least a better world than what we're seeing now. If people thought that it was possible to not be so imprisoned by their lives, we can share, each of us have blueprint ideas in our head of how things could be better. There's got to be so many different ideas. Some already, there's an 11-year-old kid that invented a way to clean the oceans. There's ideas everywhere. They just don't get the backing because this system is controlled by money mostly. But it doesn't need to be. I think, we just need to stop looking at, share our ideas without worrying about whether people share the ideas on. Share the ideas with the intent and hope that, and optimism and drive that they will. Share the ideas and hope that people do take it on and share. I know so many people who've got great business ideas, but they want to, they've got their bloody patents on it and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, why? This is a great idea that will help humanity. I don't know, but I do think that we've got to start thinking this way. I'm one, thinking about these things, but I know that there are many out there thinking about different things. I know I'm not the only one that thinks about these things, that worries that they're getting rid of the healers and making everything illegal. Prices are skyrocketing. Food is so expensive now. Energy is so expensive now, and now we're reliant on it. We had, in Ballarat, it was illegal to have water tanks up until we had a drought a decade ago. Then they allowed it because they realised there was not enough water. But it was banned. You could not collect free water from the sky. You were not allowed. There's so many things that just make just insane. This whole earth is like free resources, abundance. We've got land and food and water and enough, more than enough. But as soon as you bring a system in where somebody owns this piece of land, somebody owns that apple tree, now they have to pay you for it, that's the problem. Can't undo what we've done, but we've got it. We can have some kind of shared vision, values, whatever. I hate that they, that's such hippie talk, as if that's condescending as well. They try and make people who think outside of the box smaller. They're so scared of life without this system, and yet I know deep in their hearts, surely they'd know that it would be better. But without all of us coming on board, I think this is just going to be a gradual thing. Gradually, people will start to realise and work out what they can do, and then maybe become friends with their neighbours and see what they can do with their neighbours. Find other people who are talking about it and share the knowledge of how to keep that plan alive. And we need that shared will, that shared idea, that shared vision. Because right now we're sharing this vision of the system, and that's why nothing's really, you know, moving. You've got people who are, but they're not touching us. If you're right in the system, it becomes our everyday normal, our every moment to moment normal. Just thinking, bye.